Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we are talking about sole traders and partnerships, which are part of unincorporated businesses in the private sector. What we have talked about earlier, that there's a private sector, there's a public sector, and in private sector there's unincorporated business and unincorporated business. So we're going to be discussing more about these separate legal structures, and today our main topic of concern is sole trader and partnership. Now, both of these are unincorporated businesses. There are two unincorporated business and two incorporated businesses. So these two are unincorporated business. So let's talk about what they are basically. This yellow point covers the definitions. Basically, blue points are the benefits and red are the drawbacks. Same over here. So an sole trader is basically an unincorporated business owned by an individual in the private sector of the economy. So there's just one owner of the business. There's just one person. Sometimes there are a few employees as well, but there's hardly 2 to 3 employees. Generally, there's just one person, the main owner of the business, who runs the business. The owner has full control over the business. Since there are no other owners, there's only one owner, so they have full control over the business. However, they want to run it, whatever they want to invest in or something like that, the shop layout and stuff like that. There are no legal restrictions. You don't have to do some legal formalities like the big companies do. You don't have to be responsible to anyone. You don't have to be responsible to the shareholders or stuff like your partners, because you are the only one owner. There are no other people, so there are no legal restrictions as well. It's very convenient to set up. All profits are retained. Since you are the only owner, this point is also very clear. The business can be suited to personal skills and interests. That's the most unique advantage of sole trader, is that whatever you are good at, you can just directly start that. There's no need for any partners or stuff, or you retain all the profit you make. There are no legal restrictions, and you have full control over the business. However, it has some drawbacks. Since it's an unincorporated business, it has no separate legal identity, it has no continuity, and it has unlimited liability. We have talked earlier about not no separate legal entity, no continuity, and unlimited liability in the previous video. So if you want to check that out, you can skim through that. So no separate legal entity means that the business and the owner are treated as the same person. So any loss made by the business, the owner is also involved. There's no continuity. If owner dies, the business dies. There's unlimited liability. Any loss made in the business, the owner has to pay for it with his own property. Since his own property is limited, there is no limited liability. There's unlimited liability. All of his property is liability. Like, there is a risk. So the finance is also limited, as there's only one owner. Generally, it is mainly financed by owner's personal savings. Banks are usually reluctant to give loans unless the sole traders are able to convince banks with a unique or innovative idea. We've talked about that. We need a unique or innovative idea in the previous chapter, because that was one of the skills needed to be a successful entrepreneur. So if you don't have that, banks are reluctant to give loans. So the only option you have for the finance is your own personal saving, which are generally very less for a business. So the size is also limited. It is not able to expand much, covers a small area and has a small product portfolio. So it is not able to cater to a wide market. The market is also very small, so there's a less sales revenue, so hence a less profit as well. And that's all about sole traders. So let's move on to private partnerships. Yeah, partnerships. So partnerships are also an unincorporated business. These are formed by an agreement between two or more individuals in which responsibilities, investment, and profits are shared. That's the key definition you can give for a 2 mark question. Now, what are the advantages? The basic idea behind partnership is that the way word partnership is similar. Like, there's not one owner, instead there are two or more owners. They all share the responsibilities, investment, and profits. They all share the decision making as well. They all have a say in how the business is run. So you have to be very careful about your partners, because if your partners are not good, they make some stupid mistake, the business suffers and you also suffer. Now, the basic advantages are that the decisions are shared. So you may come up with good ideas. You all can Since there are more partners, they all think about it, what are the possible, if they want to invest in a certain thing or not, and if they are, you know, sharing up the decision, they might come up with a better idea than what would have been if there was only one of them. Since there are more of them, there are more ideas, and more ideas can generally mean a more better use of a better investment, and hence a better profit, better pricing strategy, and stuff like that. But this also means that since the decisions are shared, there will be like conflicts, and since you need consent of all partners, that's one of the drawbacks as well. Partners may be specialized in some aspects like finance or marketing, so roles can be divided. That's one of the biggest advantage there is in partnerships. That if you are, for example, you can handle finance well, your other partner can handle marketing, and your third partner is good at operations, he is good at research and development. You all can share these responsibilities, and the business can benefit from that. There are fewer legal formalities. There's not much legal formality, just this document they have to, the agreement that they make, in which they say that the responsibilities, investment, and profits are shared. How much does one person contribute to it? How the profits will be shared, and these are the most legal formalities. They are not nothing else. Now, when we compare, say nothing else, it's not like sole traders. Okay, there's more as compared to sole traders. There's more legal formalities, but as compared to the incorporated business, there's fewer legal formalities. Now, there's loss of personal control. In sole trader, we have full control over the business. Over here, that's not the case, because since you are not the only owner of it, you need consent of all your partners. There might be conflicts as well. There's limited finance. Now, sole traders also have limited finance. Over here, you're not the only one person in the business. There are more people, so you all can put in the business. All can pool in your resources, your own savings. Your partners will also put their own savings, but still it is not enough sufficient. It's not sufficient enough to say that okay, you have enough finance. The finance is still limited because you are still using your own savings, and even if you are able to make banks, you are able to convince banks, the loans provided by banks are still not sufficient enough. So that's one of the drawbacks. And the basic drawback, again the same drawback for that sole traders as well, that it's an uncorporated business, so partnership also have unlimited liability and no continuity nor separate legal identity. Now, unlimited liability, it's not always that they don't have unlimited liability. Some countries allow partnerships with limited liability as well, but generally, since it's an unincorporated business, we say that it has unlimited liability. So that's about it. When we compare sole traders with partnerships, the basic idea is that in sole traders you have full control over the business. In partnerships, you don't have full control over the business. Your partners have to share the decisions, so there might be conflicts. Over here, partners can be specialized in some different roles in management, so responsibilities can be divided accordingly. But over here, since you are the only one owner, you can't have much finance. You need to be multi-skilled. And over here, the finance is also limited. Over here also the finance is limited, but in sole traders you retain all the profit. All the profits are retained by the owner. Over here, you have to share the profit, so profit is not retained by one owner. Since there are more partners, the profit is also shared. And that's it for today. Allah Hafiz.